The IEC was outlining its performance in the 2024 national elections before Parliament today, and of course quite a number of issues coming out there, including the number of registered voters and some of the challenges, but of course the successes and milestones that this organisation was speaking about before Parliament. We're now speaking to the Electoral Commission's Chairperson Mosotho Moepya. A very good evening to you, and thank you so much for your time. So, in the last election, the IEC adding 1.2 million citizens to the voters' roll, which brought the total number of the registered voters to just above 27 million. That's 27.7 million for the first time. So are you looking at increasing this particular number given the upcoming elections?
Thank you very much for having us tonight, and good evening to you and the viewers. Indeed, we would be satisfied when everyone who is eligible to register and to vote is able to do so and takes the opportunity, in fact, to register and to vote. That's where we would be satisfied. We know that there are more than 27.78 million people that are eligible to vote, and we would want to invite them to do so.
And how do you plan on doing this? For example, when one looks at the research by the Human Sciences Research Council before the elections, it revealed that among those who are unhappy are young people. And we often speak about, how some of them are not even participating in some of the processes. They're voicing a dissatisfaction with the performance of government and some of the political parties. And then this leads to a reluctance on their part to participate in electoral processes. What is the workaround here?
This is, in fact, the elephant in the room, proverbially. And we want to advise that, in our view, this is not a matter that will take one sector or one stakeholder to address. It is going to be an issue all of us must address. Essentially, the Human Sciences Research Council study has indicated that ahead of the 2024 national and provincial elections, the issue was not about the supply side of opportunities to register and to vote. It was about the demand side. People were simply saying, I am unhappy with progress or issues I have that have not, I don't believe, have been dealt with. And I want to participate on the condition that those issues are addressed. Now, you would know that this is not an area of work. The Electoral Commission is going to say, when we registered you, you're going to find a party that does this or that or the other. And it is not our mandate to do so. We have to work very closely with all stakeholders, in particular electoral contestants, political parties, independent candidates, to say the voters are concerned that these are the issues they want you to address. Will you pitch your offering to addressing those issues? And I think that's really where we would be. People are not short of opportunities to come to the IEC to register, but they want to make it conditional. And the day we're going to enter the space to say, register, we will give you this in 10, I think that's the day when we are in fact crossing the democratic line that we should not be crossing as the Electoral Commission. But we must do so, of course, with political parties.
And of course, there is the other big issue. This is social media, right? And it can be a tool for disinformation. And this is something that came out from the presentation as one was reading. And social media is a major of concern. And this can be one of the things that poses a risk to the integrity of, the elections in and itself. How are you dealing with this? What is the plan to address this?
Social media is always going to be providing great opportunities for us in elections to communicate quickly, cheaply, and directly. But it's also going to be accompanied by very serious disadvantages of inappropriate use, such as misinformation, disinformation, and malinformation. And in this respect, we are working with social media platform owners. We are working with experts, the media institutions in our country, to deal with the best options or sites of social media that we can. In doing so, we've got to find a way to regulate and deal with the parts of social media that present election challenges. In the last elections, we have taken major steps to do so. But I must tell you, there are people who play in that space who do way much better than we have done, and we have to learn from them and do better than them, or match them at least. That's what we want to do in the future.
Do you think that's possible at all, given the fact that, even at times there could be, for example, AI-generated content that sometimes even the viewers cannot even tell if it's real or not?
I appreciate that you have raised that. Those are the challenges that we confront. Our main job is to really organize elections and organize them well. But I must tell you, it's no longer good enough just to organize elections and organize them well. Part of organizing those elections is to work with those that can counter the issues you have raised and help us deal with what we need to deal with, even as we conduct elections. And we are not going to shy away from that. We are not saying it's easy. It is always going to be difficult, but that is a job we have to do for accepting that we will also do elections, I'm afraid.
All right, and of course, I suppose it speaks of the work that lies ahead, including the court challenges that you would have then had to deal with, and these are not likely to subside given the fact that it's becoming such a contested space. But thank you so much for talking to us, and we'll continue then to monitor these particular developments. That was the Electoral Commission's Chairperson, Mosotho Moepya.